It's recording. See, look at that.
That one right there?
No, that one.
Oh, well, there's two.
Right, but that one.
Is this one of them fancy iPhones, or is
Yes.
this one of them cheap ones?
No, it's fancy from the future.
Oh, okay.
iPhone.
From the future.
It is, yes, from the future. I'm a time traveler.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody, to another show. We have a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Marco Andretti, famous race car driver. I think most of you guys know me. Don't drive very well.
Oh, Marco. Yes, you said Marco.
Yeah, I did say not Mario. No, Marco. No,
Marco.
Sorry, Mario.
I have a picture that I could probably show right here of me with Marco Andretti on stage doing an interview, and it's the perfect picture because it shows mine and his relationship. I did many interviews with him on stage, and I like the Andretti family.
Oh yeah, no,
Not a fan of Marco, unfortunately. Yeah, I probably can't even say all that.
We actually didn't decide to start this out by bashing Marco. Actually, I've heard he's a very nice person. Well,
to some people.
I
don't think he likes doing interviews. That's all it is.
That could be his grandfather Mario and his father Michael are awesome people. They helped when I was a kid, when I had cancer, if you remember.
I do remember, and I remember one specific thing about that. David Hasselhoff was supposed to be there, and he was a no-show.
He was a no-show.
Dang it, I was so excited. Over there, you remember that? I have the Knight Rider plate in the car, and the biggest thing about that night, it was like a charity thing, or...
Yeah, well, it was for... Race for the Cure. For Riley Hospital.
This is the late 80s, probably.
Well, I was diagnosed in 88, so it would have been... the first one was in 89, and the second one was in 90, and I think that's the one you came to.
Okay.
I think Chris came to the one in 89, and I think you came to the one in 90. Because I have pictures of the Hoff.
Wait, you got to meet him in 89?
Yeah. I got to meet him.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
I feel gypped.
And then he douched out. I think he had a tour in
Germany
or Sweden.
Largest selling artist in Germany or something like that?
Yeah. He's huge.
Yeah, huge.
Actually, I always wanted to make a band name huge in Sweden, because if I made music, that's probably the only place that I'd be big in Sweden. That's a
big in Sweden, like BIGIN. Big in Sweden. Yep. I like it.
For all the dance music that I make. I do actually make dance music.
He does
from time to time. Yeah.
Surprisingly, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I figured that they'd be the only people that listen to it. So
yeah, it could be. You know how those Swedes are with their dance music and their Hasselhoff love. That's Germany, isn't it? Whoever it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, David Hasselhoff was a no-show in the 1990 Cure.
Race for the
Cure. Was that the one where we rode the bus that had the flexible middle?
Yeah.
That was the first and only time I've ridden those buses that are two buses in one.
They're accordion.
They have the accordion thing in the middle, and they do this.
Yeah, we sat in the middle.
Yeah. That's the first and only time I've ever ridden in one.
Yeah, I've ridden in one twice.
Fun story.
Only for the Race for the Cure.
Oh, interesting.
That was it.
Well, that must be their MO. Now, this channel, as some of you might know, deals a lot with, or somewhat with, anxiety. I have anxiety.
Wait, you're making me anxious.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a pill.
Oh.
I've kind of been dealing with it the last couple months. I haven't put out too many videos. Not all anxiety related, but I mean, in the last week or so, it's been kind of acting up quite a bit. But Sean here deals with anxiety as well. Among other things, I mean, you deal with a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. I deal with more than the average person. So diagnosed now for 5 years with Parkinson's.
Also back in the 80s with
Ewing sarcoma, which is a bone cancer. You know, have RA now from the chemo.
What's RA?
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh.
But I do have anxiety a lot from time to time because of the Parkinson's. Also, my brain doesn't think, it stutters sometimes from Parkinson's, so I apologize.
Yeah, cut that out.
I actually, so I had one of the most up things happen to me during this COVID-19,
pandemic debacle, whatever you want to call it. And it's anxiety inducing, right? The thing that happened.
Well, yeah. Oh God. So I went to the store and I'm not one to wear masks because, quite frankly, I think there's a lot of BS that goes around. I think if you're safety conscious, if you're a clean person, and I don't mean like people are dirty, but like you wash your hands,
People are dirty.
People are dirty.
For another time.
You wash your hands. You're hygiene conscious when you pick up meat, and you don't pick up your phone because you know what, chicken spray like that, you're probably not going to get a virus.
Right.
You stay away from people, probably not going to get a virus.
So you're saying common sense. Use common sense.
Common sense. Anyways, I digress. So I was in the grocery store and I didn't have a mask on. Finished up my shopping. Stopped to see if I had any prescriptions, which I always do. And because of Parkinson's, I cough a lot. And
which is unfortunate because of the particular virus. It's
just because of the way people are right now. It absolutely sucks. But I do. I cough a lot. And it's usually like 1 or 2 coughs and then I'm done. Well, I ended up having a coughing fit. And so I got some water. I'm like trying to get anything in my throat to
suppress it because
yes,
common sense says I'm coughing right now. I know it's because of Parkinson's, but everybody else is going to probably freak out.
So I end up rushing to the checkout, to self-checkout. And I always have this huge clean rag that I spray down when I walk into Kroger because they have all this stuff. And I'm literally wiping stuff off before I start. I'm coughing. I'm trying to get through. My eyes are watering. Like I'm doing everything I can not to cough, just so that other people don't freak out. People are staring at me. I get done. I wipe everything back down, re-sanitize everything, run out of the store. Like I'm freaked out. I'm running out of the store.
You're freaked out because you know other people are freaked out.
I know, yes.
Sympathy.
So, bless my wife. She didn't tell me this, but until the next day. But apparently on our next door neighborhood app, somebody decided to. Yeah, it's like where.
It's one of those things those kids are using these days.
No,
social app things.
This is actually where like adults use. It's for the neighborhood. So
yeah, we have one. It's a Facebook page. Have you heard of this Facebook thing?
What's that? What's face?
It's
Facebook? Is that like where I put my?
It's where you're supposed to post your political opinions,
Oh,
and that's about it.
I don't. Decided to post her opinions about me, not knowing a thing about me. Actually, she went to the store manager and yelled at the store manager, saying that they shouldn't allow people like me in there.
Because you're so hairy.
Yeah.
By the way, he's been hairy since like 6th grade.
Yeah, pretty much.
He got done with chemo, and all of a sudden he could grow this full beard.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's like 7th grade.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And all the girls were like, oh, swoon.
I had like straight hair, before chemo, and after chemo it came out
Wavy.
curly.
Not curly, but wavy.
Wavy. Well, it was curly when it was short. And then, wavy and
a full beard.
And a beard. But yeah, the bitch, then she decided to tell all the neighborhoods around that, like, I was the
Why
worst.
are you letting a coughing person in here when you know what's going on?
I was the worst person in the
Karen.
world. Luckily, yeah. Thanks, Karen. You want to talk about having anxiety? The next time I went to the store, you don't want to look anybody in the eye. You don't even want to look the people that you've seen every day for the last, 18 years since the store was put in. You don't even want to look them in the eye because you don't know if they're looking at you going, oh, you're the COVID guy,
Which you're not.
No, I'm not. I
hope not, because we're not 6 feet apart currently.
No, I'm not. Haven't had it. Not going to have it. Not worried about it. So, yeah, that's just one of the stories, I guess.
Oh, I can imagine. Because that's part of what gives me anxiety is having the thoughts and the feelings that other people are judging me.
Yeah.
I've talked to my other friends about this, and they're like, why do you feel that way? I don't know. I've always felt that way. It's always disturbed me. I've gotten a lot better about it, but still, it's one of those things that sometimes I feel like people are looking at me and judging me, and that gives me the anxiety. But I know that's kind of ridiculous. So, but in this day and age, it's paramount because it's people are looking at you if you're not wearing your gloves or mask, and they're judging.
Yeah.
It's just the way things are today. And
so we've actually been talking a lot about stuff. We've known each other since 6th grade, 6.5th grade, whatever, somewhere around there. Actually, yeah, since 6th grade.
Yeah, so
I knew Toby in
1987 or 1988.
But we've been talking about some stuff that maybe we didn't always divulge, even as best friends back then. Here's something that I know you didn't know.
This is exclusive.
This is an
YouTube exclusive.
What's YouTube? So I've been a drummer my entire life. Since I was knee high to a short Indian.
God, we're old. I've noticed, sidebar, I've noticed that as we get older, our jokes do get lamer. It is conscious.
Yes.
I do see it.
Yes.
I don't like it. And that was a prime example of one.
Yes.
Stop it.
So anyways, sitting behind the drum set, you would never think that I was ever nervous or had any anxiety.
That's part of the reason I do sit behind a drum set, because you're hidden, kind of.
Yeah.
However, everybody hears you the most. It's
so in
yin yang.
And behind the drum set, I never really did. But in band, in concerts,
Actually being in a band.
No, in like school concert band,
Mm-hmm.
I had the biggest anxiety ever walking out on that stage and playing a snare or playing a full set or
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be shaking before I walked out, and even I get behind the set, and my leg would be tremoring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that was pre-Parkinson's, and I mean, it was amazing. It was like, I can't tell you how in fear I was of everybody else looking at me
Mm-hmm.
and and judging me. So, and I never ever gave off that vibe, or
Mm-hmm.
that you would never know that I ever had any fear back then. But
No, you're always the fearless one, and I was always the one that was scared of everything.
yeah,
That's the way it was.
yeah,
It's kind of the way it is today. I'm still scared of everything. Most of you know this.
but
That reminds me of a story that you saying the words "me playing a snare,"
mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
reminds me of something. We used to be in, I don't know if you call it drum corps, but it was it was an
With
offshoot of the Boy Scouts, I believe.
with Rick's drums.
Rick's Drums over
Yep.
in Lawrence. We would go. Was it once a week or so, or we'd
It
go
was
meet
like Thursday nights.
something weird. We'd go meet at Rick's Drums, and I think it was an offshoot of the Boy Scouts
Yeah,
somehow, but it was like people that played, musicians and drummers, specifically drummers, would get together at Rick's Drums, and I don't remember exactly what we would do.
oh, we do all kinds. We'd have drum circles. We'd get to sit behind that big ass fancy sonar kit with
Yeah.
with like all brass.
I learned how to play. There's a particular Led Zeppelin song that's a very difficult drum beat. It was back then, but I remember learning how to play it at Rick's Drums.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun, dun,
Bum, bum, ba-dum,
dun, dun, dun.
ba-dum.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, learn how to play that at Rick's Drums. But us playing the snare, we had the opportunity to be in the 500 parade.
Yep.
And we had to walk the whole circuit with snare drums
Yep.
around, and then the next day we had to walk around the track for the race. Mm-hmm. And we started at the corner at turn. I can't remember what turn we started. Turn 1 maybe. And I was like, oh.
No, you started in. Everyone came out in the short shoot between 3 and 4, and
Right.
that's where you came back in.
And what I'm trying to get at is the fact that you start in 3 and you see 4 and you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. It's not very long. Then you turn 4 and you're like, oh, it's very long. Then you know that you have another between 1 and 2, and then you have to go all the way back to 3.
That was a hot day too.
Yeah, but we got free tickets to the race, and we were in the snake pit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we watched the race. I think we just spent our time in the snake. Back then, there used to be this snake pit in the middle before there was like a golf course and all this kind of
At
stuff.
that time, it was in turn 4.
And
That's when the snake pit had moved from.
lots of debauchery happened back
Yes.
then. I remember a guy with a hot dog and something. He was passed out.
Was that the year that it had rained real bad and the guy fell face first in the mud, but he had 2 beers?
and it didn't spill a
And
drop.
didn't spill, and he saved him, like face first in the mud, and saved the beers, and everyone
Yeah.
was cheering. Was that year?
That was that year.
Okay, I
It's
remember
also
that. Yeah.
how old were we? 14 or 15 at the time? Probably 14.
Yeah,
and
14, yeah.
and they had to show us your signs, and it was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, yes. It was that was an experience. Of course, much later in life, I got to do work with the IndyCar people and experience more of the Indy 500s on a different level, but that was fun. But my shoulders were hurting from carrying that snare drum around. I mean, that was heavy. It gets heavy. But we were in the parade, and we were in the parade before the race, and it was really pretty neat. So, all that for...
Actually, I think you sat with me, because I've had the same tickets We've had the same ticket since before I was born.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you and I were together, is because you came in. Because I didn't.
Well,
I
we
didn't
were,
march.
We were friends back then.
Well, yeah,
We didn't march. You didn't march
I didn't march.
around the track?
No, that's the dumbest idea I had ever heard. Walk around the track with all that weight. That's 2.5 miles around. I'm not doing that.
I thought, well, this is an experience. It's kind of like when I did jury duty.
Yeah.
I did jury duty, and they were like, "Who wants to be the foreman?" And I'm like, "I do." And they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "If I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be the foreman. So if I'm gonna do the drum thing, I'm gonna walk around the track.
No,
That's just how my mind works.
no, I would no.
If I'm going all out.
I remember because we got there, and I was waiting for you guys to go, and I saw you guys like just had taken off and were around. Because you guys took off early. You guys started really early, and then when you were done, I met you down outside the fourth turn, where all the buses and stuff were.
Yep.
And then we, because you sat with us and we had a ticket for you and hung out. This is actually the first year. It's odd. So this will be my 45th 500 in a row in the same seat.
Really? You've gone since you were a baby?
Yes. My grandfather actually used to sneak me in. He would buy a general admission, and then they would take me up. When I was really young, they would take me up. And in my seat, which was my grandfather's seat, there is about an extra seat before the fence. So they would take me up and set me down, and then as I got older, they get me a general admission ticket, and either I'd go up and help carry stuff up, or I'd stay down, and then somebody would come down with an extra ticket and then walk back up, which I think is what we did. Is I probably walked down with 2 tickets.
Could be. I always thought that
I
always thought we got free tickets for doing the.
I think you guys got free infield.
Yeah, free
passes.
something like that.
So
anyway, him playing, him reminiscing reminded me of that little nugget. Anyway, anxiety. Anxiety is happening because of the pandemic, because of what's going on, because of how it's being handled or whatnot, or reopening, whatever it may be. There's always ways to overcome that anxiety. Are there any tricks that you use to do it?
I like to get naked and just run through the store. That works for me. It doesn't work for you? Really, especially the sushi section and the fish section. No.
On that, okay. Anyway,
I don't have
meditate, breathe. There's
Yeah.
breathing exercises. If you need to stay in. Whatever it takes to make you feel more comfortable and less grumpy around other people.
Yeah. I usually listen to music. I like to go to a book. You can't read a good book, but you can't do that when you're out. I just try to get through it. I don't know how, but my coping mechanisms are.
They work for you?
I suppose are humor. That's how I get through everything, pretty much. Humor. If I can't laugh at myself, then I can't laugh at you. And if I can't laugh at you, then I'm not really having fun. So that's pretty much how I get through it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good deal. I cower in the corner I'm sucking my thumb in the fetal position until it goes away.
Yeah.
Whatever works
too.
for me.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go out there and make it a good one, and let's do this.
All right. See you. Thanks.